Hey, what's up, Street Talks? The Eric from the Eric Street Photography Blog. This video brought to you by upcoming haptic t-shirt designed by Anna Kim, my lovely sister. Yes, she actually did hand sketch this whole thing. She didn't just steal it on the internet. So, my mom, her phone essentially just died. It just went kaput. And I had this dilemma. What phone should I buy my mom? I was initially thinking of getting her just an iPhone because it's just easier. So I was thinking about, like, should I get her like an iPhone 7 Plus, an iPhone 7, a 6S? Should I get some used, a Google Pixel, the small iPhone SE? And you know, we currently have our plan on T-Mobile in America. And we kind of came across this phone that was actually pretty cool. It's the new LG G6. And the thing that I actually thought that was very cool from a photographer standpoint is the fact that it actually has two lenses. So it's actually kind of cute is that if you look at it at the right angle, it kind of looks like a face. It's got two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. So this is actually the power button. So you just push this to turn it on. And also it's a fingerprint scanner. And we currently have it on T-Mobile. And the reason that I really like this phone is that the wide angle lens on this camera is really cool. So it's too goddamn sunny out here. I'm gonna move for us. So I'll just move while talking. Pardon the shakiness. So I think, I mean, this is already happening, is that the future of photography is all going to be mobile. So this is my big prediction, is that the future of photography, either you're going to shoot with a digital medium format camera with like a bajillion megapixels, or like the rest of us, you're just going to shoot with your phone. And in terms of design, it's actually got a really beautiful screen. So the reason I actually really like this phone is the bezel goes all the way to the bottom and the top, which means essentially you just have more screen real estate. So my mom's pretty old, so whenever she's looking at her phone, she's essentially just kind of squinting, and it's really hard for her to just see the images. And you know, I don't know if, for those of you guys who are watching, like if you have any parents who are, you know, who are passionate about photography, and I just want to give you guys a demo. So open up the camera app, and sorry, my apologies, the video actually is not so good. So it's a little bit hard here to see, but here on the right side there's two modes. So there's the normal mode here, which allows you to just, let's see if there's a good way I could do this for you. Okay, so that's not horrible. So you could see the perspective. You could just essentially see me, right? So just imagine that framing. And then if we turn it to this wide angle mode, now you could see how wide it is. So in terms of a photography standpoint, it almost looks like maybe a 17mm lens. It's actually really freaking wide. So the reason why I think this is really cool is that if you're really into shooting architecture or interior spaces and you just want to get more in your frame, this wide angle lens is really fucking cool. I actually think I'm a total Apple fanboy. If I had a choice between getting an iPhone and this, I'd actually get this phone because I'm pretty excited. I want to shoot some street photography with the wide angle lens, because even the new iPhone 7 Plus, it has a normal lens, which is like a 28, which is quite wide, but it also has like the 50mm portrait mode. But I want to go wider, and the fun thing about shooting wide is that you could just be more creative with your angles. You get very close and you could create these like really wonky, distorted images. Or if you're just really into landscapes or architecture, this would be a really cool option. And also the cool thing about shooting with this phone is it's really fucking fast. Like I could just go snap, snap, snap. I actually have the flash on, so I'll turn off the flash. Snap, snap. And it has like, I don't know the technology, but it has like a laser autofocus or something. Insanely fast. So, and also, oh sorry, if you guys didn't get this yet, this is not an ad for LG. I actually paid $500 for this phone for my mom. And there's so many cool options with the phone. So for example, other things you could do is that by default, I'm gonna move this. Okay, so by default, it's auto mode. There's all these other modes you could do. So there's this square mode's kind of gimmicky. I'm not even gonna show you that, but you could even shoot fully manual photos. So you can see here on the bottom, you can see you could change the different white balances, the EV, how bright or dark it is, the ISO, shutter speed. You could lock the AEL. I don't even know what that is. I'm just talking, and you could see what your aperture is. In terms of changing color, just like the iPhone, you could press a little button. You could see all the different filters, which is good for my mom because she doesn't want to. I don't want to teach my mom how to use Visco or Snapseed. It's just way too complicated for her. Also, I haven't actually experimented much with this, but if you're into shooting video and film, there's the manual video mode. So you could even see the audio feedback, which is really fucking cool. And you could even adjust the different levels for the audio, also change the things. So I really see smartphones as an awesome thing because it empowers so many people, not only like my mom, but you know, I don't know, your kids, your parents. And I think if you have a pair of eyes, you're a photographer. And there's something that's deep within our human DNA to create art, to create images. And photography, I think, is the most beautiful way to do that. And so, you know, I don't want to make this video too long, but usually in terms of the phone, just really nicely designed. This is the all black edition. The sides kind of look like iPhone. The fingerprint in the back, it takes a while to get used to just turn on like this, but actually it becomes more natural rather than having to put your thumb all the way on the side of other phones where you put the power button all the way up here. This actually makes a lot more sense. And I think just to see how much real estate you got on the phone, it's so beautiful how they're killing the bezel. I mean, eventually there's going to be a point where there's no black bezel at all. And I mean, also it's a phone, so if you're interested in Android, so like personally, back in 2011 when I had a choice of getting like the iPhone 2 or 3 versus the HTC 4G Evo Android, I was always more of an Android guy because even though I'm an Apple fanboy, I really don't like the closed architecture of Apple and how it puts you inside an Apple prison. Android is kind of shittier in some ways, but at least you have a little more freedom. So I personally, when I had my Android phone, I hacked the shit out of it. I put on Nova Launcher, hid all the icons, and to me it's just more fun because you could tinker with it. So with Android, actually, you have more freedom, whereas with, you know, Apple, it just works, which is great, and it makes amazing photos. But if you're like me and you just like to tinker and just fuck with shit, get an Android. And there's so many good Android smartphones on the market right now. I'm making this video in 2017. I'm sure it's gonna be outdated quite soon. I was also considering the Nexel, the Google Pixel, like one of the highest rated cameras according to DxOMark. I don't even know how they do this. But in terms of a practical standpoint, this dual lens for wide angle and close, it's very cool. And this phone is so fast. It's quite affordable. If you have a T-Mobile account, I think like you could buy it for $500. It's, in terms of the bang for the buck, and also it's just a really fast phone, and I actually really like it. And of course, in terms of image quality is superb. Colors look good. But yeah, really this wide angle is pretty cool. So I bought the phone for my mom, but like part of me, I'm like, I just want to get myself one so I could just worry less about, you know, just always having my recoil, because it's quite thin. Not the thinnest phone, but thin enough. Feels pretty good. It's like kind of like this like polycarbonate material, and all black just looks pretty cool. And yeah, just the camera just looks amazing. So I'm actually pretty excited to see what my mom could do with this. Maybe I'll steal this. She's going to be with me for like a few days. I'm going to steal from her. I'm going to shoot, let's say, some street with it. Maybe do another follow-up review. But once again, if you're an Android user and you don't want to shoot with an iPhone in terms of photography, I would highly, highly, highly recommend the G6. Peace out.